Hi everyone, and welcome back to The Legend of Sean. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about one of my personal heroes, Link, in his latest release, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, available for the Switch. Now, to preface, I've never played the original, so today you're going to be getting the perspective of a Legend of Zelda fan of this narrative and of this remake for the first time ever. Let's dive in. Link washes ashore on the mysterious island of Koholint. It's said that no one is allowed to leave the island unless the windfish awakens. Link's appearance threatens that possibility, and monsters begin to populate the island in an attempt to thwart his efforts to do so. It goes without saying, but it also cannot go without saying, how adorable the animation style is in this game. And that's really the key word here. Adore. I adore this game. It's so cute, it's overwhelming. The cuteness in Link's animation, from his hiyas to his grunts to scuttling behind his shield and gearing up for a charge and more are, well, adorable. That same doughy art style applies to the enemies, and it almost makes me want to take pity on them. Almost. The pacing of Link's Awakening is slow to start. The many initial blockades, the inability to warp, and Link's base speed don't help that much. In a thematically slower start, it makes sense then that this game does not reward you for hasty action. Slow and steady wins the race here. Whether that's playing minigames or navigating dungeons, patience and precision are key. In some cases, the game doesn't do that much in the way of holding your hand, so you have to slowly double back across the map trying to figure out what to do next. That said, once you finally solve the puzzle or figure out the next path forward, those moments of discovery and victory become that much sweeter and really do bring a smile to your face. For instance, by the time that you're able to smash a pot, which is a classic nostalgic Zelda trope, a very simple mechanic, nothing new, it becomes a joyous, refreshing action. Seriously, it feels like they hold out on you for so long on smashing pots that once you're able to, finally, you're like, I just want to smash all the pots. After a slow start and a first glance at the map, I feared that there wouldn't be that much meat to this game, but after a certain point, all of a sudden, the map just cracks bang wide open, and there are all of these nooks and crannies to discover and some real tough secrets to figure out. The pacing picks up quick, and again, the joy of discovery is where this game shines. But in direct opposition to this, sometimes the game literally spoon feeds you the next way to move forward or how to defeat an enemy. It feels like what's an attempt to be a middle ground for the casual gamer and the one seeking challenge, but ultimately ends up just being a wash of an experience and leaves you with mixed messages. The good news is if you're seeking challenge, you have that agency. You can avoid calling Ulrira for tips, you can avoid talking to bird statues, and you can toggle on hero mode from the beginning of the game to prevent Link from finding hearts in the wild or in dungeons. This definitely ups the challenge, or you can do the vice versa for a more casual time. There are a number of baddies in Link's Awakening, some more interesting to defeat than others, but in general the challenge level is pretty low to moderate, even in boss fights. Donpang's Dungeon is Link's Awakening's version of Super Mario Maker, where basically you can create your own dungeon using the templates of rooms of dungeons that you've already explored. Now, this feature becomes really exciting once you gain modification tiles, where you can, for example, increase the number of enemies that populate in a room. But after a certain point, the game will propel you from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon consecutively, and at that point, Donpang's Dungeon does become redundant in a way. As we all know, music is a huge staple of the Legend of Zelda series. Link's Awakening has only a handful of underscores, albeit gorgeous, but they do repeat often, and they start from the very top every time you enter and exit a room. So that can get stale in a way. Link's Awakening, has a very odd taste to it. There are references to other Legend of Zelda games and the Mario series all over. For example, the scavenger hunt and baton passing of items across an assortment of odd characters on the island reminds me of a similar challenge in Majora's Mask. We have an owl guide similar to Ocarina of Time, and a chain chomp? It's almost as if the game itself is just a hidden Easter egg hunt, which is very apt considering the giant egg towering over the island. These little oddities, along with some real tongue-in-cheek writing, leave you feeling confused and charmed. There's a bit of an internal battle identity crisis duality thing that's going on in this game. First of all, whether to hold your hand or to let you figure things out trial by fire. And I think the game would have benefited from committing to one or the other, simply. Secondly, it's certainly an odd flavor to see characters from the Mario universe in a Legend of Zelda setting, along with a hodgepodge of references to other games in the Legend of Zelda canon. On the one hand, it's an amalgamation of everything that we love. On the other hand, it has me questioning, does Link's Awakening have its own identity? The answer to that question is likely based on your interpretation of the ending. Stick around after the credits to hear mine, but whatever the answer is, it really doesn't matter, because Link's Awakening is a solid, adventurous, quirky little game that sticks to the classic Zelda formula, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, with an adorable makeover, and I'm here for it. For that reason, I rate Link's Awakening as a 9 out of 10 seashells. I would love to hear your thoughts below. For more content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. For all things gay, gaming, and Brazilian, stay tuned. But also stay tuned after the credits for my thoughts on the ending. Hello. Welcome to the inside of my brain. Now, let me just preface, if you don't like spoilers, please do not continue watching because I will be talking about spoilers. So go put this down, go finish the game, save the day, be the hero, and come hang out with the rest of us heroes. And for those of you that have crossed that line, welcome. I'm gonna take you on a little bit of a philosophical ride, but stick with me, okay? Because we're gonna land somewhere. The question is, does Link's Awakening have its own identity? In my opinion, no. And I'm gonna tell you why. So as we all know, after you finish the game, you wake up the Windfish and you realize the entire island was nothing but a dream sequence. Nothing was real, it's all ephemeral. And so to get you there, I have to take it back a bit. Joseph Campbell, for those of us who don't know, Joseph Campbell is an American mythologist who devoted his entire life to studying mythology across ages and across cultures. Greek mythology, Japanese mythology, Norse mythology. And what he discovered in this research is that time and time again, we continue to see these similar archetypal narrative storylines, and we see these same stock archetypal characters. So for example, the call of the hero to the journey, going through the belly of the beast, coming back home with newfound knowledge, or the ingenue, the young lovers, the sage. And so what Joseph Campbell argues is that there is a collective unconscious in humanity, that storytelling is subconsciously embedded into our DNA. And that's why we see these similar patterns over and over again, time and time again. And so while I was playing the game, especially after I defeated it, once you take a look at these references to other Legend of Zelda games that came before Link's Awakening and after, and to some extent, the Nintendo universe, which still a little bit of a stretch, but to me, it makes me almost wonder, is Link's Awakening the collective unconscious of Link? As we know, Link in every single game is a different person, and so this could be a collection of memories of both past and future Links. In this game, we see those past and future incarnations bleeding into this dream sequence. Link's Awakening, no, wouldn't have an identity because it's an amalgamation of the collective unconscious of Links, or better put, it has multiple identities. That's my interpretation. I thought it was pretty cool if that was the case. I'd love to hear your thoughts too on the ending, but if you are going to comment in the comments, please just put a little spoiler. We don't want to ruin it for the children. And that's really all I've got for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm signing off. See you next time.